Could Gabe Davis end up in Seattle? Is he the wide receiver the Seattle Seahawks have been waiting for? Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk more about Davis here in just a moment, but first, folks, it is my favorite time of year, my friends. It is the Summer of Jones. And yours truly already got things started last weekend in Chicago. This weekend, I'm going to be living my best life at South Padre Island, celebrating year 29 beginning this weekend. And whether it's updates from the Summer of Jones or coverage on your Seattle Seahawks, I got it all over on IG at Tyler Jones Live. And I highly recommend that you follow me over there. In fact, the first 10 people to follow me from today's show, I will give you a follow back on IG because I feel like doing that. Here is the official photo for the Summer of Jones this year. Make sure to be a part. Let's Jones around together and have a great summer at Tyler Jones Live. You can follow along all the action as it'll be the best one yet. Year 10 of the Summer of Jones. Crazy. Time is flying by, my friends. Give me a follow, and we'll continue here on Seahawks Today. Gabe Davis, could he be on his way to Seattle? Well, if you ask the folks at Bleacher Report, they are saying that the next move the Seahawks should make is signing Davis in NFL free agency. Let's hear more from Mo Motton of Bleacher Report, who writes the following. The Seahawks have enough room to add another big play wideout to the offense. Wideout Cooper Kupp is an injury-prone possession receiver who has missed 18 games over the last 3 years and averaged 10.6 yards per catch last season. Marquez Valdes-Scantling averages a career 17.4 yards per reception, but he has an alarming 49.5% catch rate. I've told you about this. Davis has been inconsistent and couldn't find his groove in the Jacksonville Jaguars' aerial attack last season, yet he would be a solid number 3 option in the Seahawks passing attack and primary big play target if Valdes-Scantling isn't able to carry over his momentum from the previous season in Clint Kubiak's system. Because of Kupp's injury history, Seattle needs quality depth at receiver behind Jackson Smith and Jigba. Davis has missed more than 2 games in a single term once in 5 years and averages 16.2 yards per catch. This, my friends, is not a bad idea at all to potentially sign Gabe Davis. I would feel a lot better about this passing attack if Gabe Davis is involved. And look, the Seahawks have had a lot to replace. Moving on from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, JSN's expected to take on a bigger role. You got Cooper Kupp, who I still think is a good receiver, but he is older and he's had some injury issues. I'm not so high in MVS. I think Horton's got potential, but he is just a rookie. This, I think, would kind of put you at ease. Like, okay, we're all right. Things are going to work here. I think he's much better than MVS. All right? And most of you know I am not a fan of MVS, and I have explained this about 1,000 times, but I'll give you the short version. The Chiefs' receiving core was not good. He still got cut. Was asked to take on a big role, couldn't accomplish it. Goes to Buffalo. Their receiving core was not that great. Was asked to take on a big role, couldn't accomplish that. He got cut. The Chiefs and Bills, who had average to bad receiving cores, he wasn't even good enough for them. Why would he be good enough for Seattle? So we've gone over that now. Moving on. With that said, Gabe Davis could offer something different because when you talk about MVS, I think realistically, because we mentioned the catch rate not being so great, the best thing that he actually offers is an occasional defensive pass interference penalty downfield, taking advantage of one of the best penalties, I think, in the NFL. I think college has it wrong by only going 15 yards. I like the spot foul in the NFL. That's something you can work with MVS. That's the best thing he could do. With Gabe Davis, I could actually stretch the field and get production, not just penalties. This passing game could be lethal all of a sudden. assuming the offensive line does its part, then I got some real weapons. Then I feel a little bit better about the position that I'm using MVS for. I'm not asking him to be my number 3 all of a sudden. Gabe Davis, I think, would be a very solid number 3 receiver. And then you have MVS there. Then you have Horton, and all of a sudden you're cooking with bacon grease here. Should the Seahawks sign Gabe Davis? You got 2 options here. Type S for sign, P for pass. Your chance to be the GM. Weigh in. Tell me what you think. Seahawks Today is bringing you elite Seahawks coverage each and every day here on the channel with our daily news and rumors. We have live shows 3 days a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific time. We're bringing you breaking news, Q&A mailbags. It's all right here. I need you to subscribe and make sure that you are alerted when we have new content here on the channel. Best part about it, it's 100% free. Doesn't cost you a thing. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Let's get at least 20 subs off today's video. Subscribe now. When I look back at 2024, it was not a good year for Gabe Davis. It was the worst season of his career. But I don't think 2024 should define him. I can give him a mulligan for last season. The Jags were a mess last year. And, they fired their head coach, Doug Peterson. Trevor Lawrence didn't quite look right. There was just a lot of other factors going on compared to when he was in Buffalo, when he was very solid in a good situation. So I think that is worth noting. You can give him the benefit of the doubt there. More on Gabe Davis, a 2020 fourth-round pick out of UCF, the Knights by the Bills. Went to Jacksonville this past season. Got a pretty good, decent amount of guaranteed money was released. But in his time in Buffalo, he had 4 seasons where he had at least 545 receiving yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. And so if I can get that type of production out of my number 3 receiver, then that's really good. Here's what we're talking about statistically with Gabe Davis. His best season, you go back to 2022, not too long ago, 48 catches, 836 yards, 7 touchdowns, 17.4 yards reception. 2023 was pretty good, too. 45 catches, 746 yards, 16.6 yards reception, 7 touchdowns. If you got the version of Gabe Davis that we saw in 2022 or 2023, those would be pretty on par with what we saw from Tyler Lockett and trying to replace Lockett's production in this Seattle offense. I think he still has more to offer at this point in his career. I don't think that folks should throw in the towel on Gabe Davis just yet. And part of it, he's still very young. He's not washed. He's not old. He's just 26. I remember when I was 26. Life was good. And life is good for Gabe Davis, too. And his market value, we are estimating that he would not command a ton of cash. Just about $3.5 million is all that he could take, as he's still getting plenty of money from the Jacksonville Jaguars from that guaranteed deal they gave him last year. And it's not a money issue for Seattle either. They have about 31.73 in cap space at this point in time. So, with that said, free agency, we got the June 1 roster cups coming around the corner. Plenty of more players are about to be available. Who is a player the Seahawks should sign? Whether it's Gabe Davis or if it's somebody else out there, give me a name that you would like to see in Seattle. Chime in that comment section. Tell me what you think. Got a great deal we're offering here, folks. Darius Rucker. I love me some Darius Rucker. Wagon Wheel, great song. Darius Rucker, one of the absolute best. I don't know how many people know this. He is a diehard Seattle Seahawks fan. Darius Rucker is. I would love to see him raise the 12th man flag sometime. Well, guess what? Darius Rucker has some brand new Seahawks gear available. Some Western Seahawks gear. Look, if you know me, I love country music. I'm an urban cowboy, if I'd say so myself. I would be rocking this thing. I might have to get this myself. I'm dead serious. And whether you're an urban cowboy or you're enjoying yourself out in the sticks somewhere in Western Washington. You can be rocking this thing in maybe it's in the cornfields or maybe at the nightclub, whatever it may be. This thing looks fantastic, and it's on sale too, up to 40% off at chatsports.com/Darius. Why would you not want to get this? We have every size imaginable for you. And we also have other Seahawks gear available at that same link. Go see for yourself. Chatsports.com/Darius. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Check it out now. Chatsports.com/Darius. All right, as we're wrapping up here, a couple final points that I'll add on this when it comes to Gabe Davis. If you sign him for the little money that we're projecting, about $3.5 million, what do you have to lose at this juncture? $3.5 million is nothing. It is a low risk with a potential high reward if you're Seattle. And it all comes back to the quarterback position with Sam Darnold. You want to set up Sam Darnold for success and put him in the best position possible. You don't want to leave any stone unturned. And if I'm John Schneider, the way I look at it, Sam Darnold, the contract that's structured for him, there's an opt-out basically after this year where the Seahawks can get out of the contract if they want to. I want to say, if I'm John Schneider and Mike McDonald, Sam, we gave you everything. All right? We set you up with a solid receiving core. We improved the offensive line. We got good running backs. What did you do with it? I don't want to be having a conversation in February and March where Seattle's trying to figure out what to do with Sam Darnold, and you're saying to yourself, well, if only Sam had a better receiving core, then maybe it would have been a different story. Let's avoid that before we can. Not to mention, big picture, beyond just Sam Darnold here, put the best product you possibly can out there, and that's what Gabe Davis can potentially do. You look at this receiving core right now. JSN is fantastic. Cooper Kupp's really good. I have my doubts about MVS. And then beyond that, you got a whole lot to figure out. But Gabe Davis could make this situation feel much more at ease if you're Seattle here. Do you believe in the Seahawks offense? You got two options here. Type B for believe. D for don't. 12s, way in the comments section. Tell me how you feel one way or the other. Follow me on IG at Tyler Jones Live as we roll along the summer of Jones. You can see more Seahawks updates and also on my endeavors throughout the months ahead at Tyler Jones Live. Appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next time.